Welcome back to FM Story. In the last episode, we began season 18 of the South American Glory Hunt save, which means we've got 3 seasons left to win the league and the cup in Uruguay and the cup in Brazil. We did move clubs. We went to River Plate in Uruguay and things started well, and then it was a bit inconsistent. We ended the last episode in 3rd position with 14 points after 8 games. Unfortunately, we're already 7 points behind Nacional, so we need to really put in some decent performances to try and catch them up. Without further ado, let's get straight into the action with a game away at Penarol. So, as we said, straight into action. In the last game, we hammered Danubio 4-0, and that was largely due to a switch in formation where we went with 2 up front. We're going to keep the same starting lineup that played that last game and hope that we can come out with a result in this one as well. We have a bit of a lack of fullbacks, so we've got a back 3 with 1 in front of the back 3, 2 in the centre midfield, and then 4 looking to exploit spaces in the attacking areas of the pitch. We've got the ball at the back of the keeper, out to Mendes, Vieira, back to Mendes, Vieira again, Mendes down the line again for Vieira. A lot of play between the 2 on the right. Vieira into the box. Good save from the keeper, and the rebound, Sousa couldn't get it on target. All right, Benitez with a throw to Espinosa, back to Benitez. Ball looked over the top. And now we're in danger of being broken on here. Acosta gets across to tidy it up. And now Sousa with some time. Out to Vieira on the right. Back to Mendes. Vieira again. Back to Mendes. The 2 of them are playing a lot of passes to each other. Now Acosta to Benitez with some time on the left. De Silva drops in to get it. Turns. Ball over the top for the run of Enriquez. What a finish that is. And that's a 1-0 up. And based on what we've seen, you've got to say it's deserved. But Silva drops to pick the ball up here, turns infield, and then just plays the ball over the top for the run of Enriquez from the centre of midfield. Catches it on the volley, and it flies past the keeper to put us 1-0 up. Fusco at the back to Mendes. Looks for Gonzalez in the box. They cut it out, and then they go long and give it straight back to us. Espinosa on the left. Into De Silva. I think he's offside. He finds the bottom corner. But I think we're going to find that was a mile offside. And it's a nice ball from Espinosa. It's actually closer than it looked. It's a good touch and a good finish from De Silva, but Sousa with a free kick. Gonzalez in the box, smashes it past the keeper, and again the offside flag goes up. I just hope we're not wasting chances to give them a way back into the game here, because that's another one that's been disallowed. Some more clips over the top. And there's about 5 of our players, I think, offside there. Gonzalez takes down the chest. Decent finish, but not going to count for anything. Fusco to Benitez. Sousa into the box for De Silva. Hits the post. Comes out to Vieira. He pulls it back to the penalty spot, and Sousa can't get it under control. And then Acosta tidies up at the back for us. And goes back to Fusco. And Benitez now with it. And Fusco again. Now out to Mendes on this right-hand side. And down to Enriquez. Vieira making the run forward behind his fullback. Squares it. Gonzalez finds the back of the net. This one's not going to get disallowed for offside. And that's 2-0. And we are very much continuing where we left off in that last game against Danubio, creating lots of chances, lots of shots on target, and we're actually taking them as well. A throw for them in towards the box. We've worked a ball into the back posts, taken down. Another cross, deflection. We've just about got it away there, but that was an almighty scramble in front of our goal. And there we are, half-time 2-0. Thankfully, we got that second goal. But that last little bit of play, the little scramble in front of our goal, shows how dangerous they are despite the relatively poor start to the season they've had. And we need to be on guard in the second half. Right, we've sent the same team out to start the second half. We don't want to mess with it too much. Souza with a free kick. Beats the keeper. 3-0. And now a chance to take off a couple of players. We've got a few players struggling fitness-wise in Acosta, Enriquez, and particularly Vieira, who came off in the last game with a bit of a knock. And we have taken all three of those players off. We brought Santel on at the back and moved Benitez forward. We brought Anon on for Enriquez, and Wagner, who came on and scored in the last game, has come on for Vieira on the right. It looks like the game might just be petering out now with us 3-0 up. We've given the ball away in our own half. We are deep into injury time, so it shouldn't, even if they score, it's not going to be too disastrous. But the keeper's got down to stop that being an own goal, and hopefully we can keep the clean sheet intact. We've got a head on that, and Wagner's going to bring it clear, and that should be full time. And it is. And actually, looking at the match, it was a lot more even a game than the scoreline suggests, but we've come away with that 3-0 victory. We stay third in the table on 17 points now, 4 points behind Montevideo City Talk, who we've got a game in hand on. And also importantly, Nacional lost. So the gap's narrowed to them to 4 points at the top. We are approaching the end of April, and we've got a big game at home against my previous club, Cerrito. Things have gone reasonably well since the Penarol game. Certainly in the league, things have gone well. The Copa Sudamericana is a bit of a different matter. Unfortunately, we have suffered a big injury to Nicolas Enriquez, who's damaged his Achilles tendon. He's out for 4 to 5 months, which makes this change in formation we did because of the lack of depth in centre midfield certainly the right decision, but now we are lacking again a bit in the central midfield. So following the victory against Penarol earlier on in the episode, we then went and hammered Boston River 7-1. Both of our central midfielders, Enriquez and Souza, both picked up hat-tricks. We then had a pretty terrible performance against Cerro. We took the lead inside 25 seconds and then were 2-1 down and then got 3-2 in front to concede an 89th minute equaliser. And then luckily we went up the other end and in the 94th minute got a winner. And the most recent league game we won 2-0 against Villa Teresa, and that was the game where Enriquez picked up his damaged Achilles tendon. Pretty comfortable victory that day. In the Copa Sudamericana, we played 2 games in the group. We lost the first one 1-0 at home against Audax, with Gabriel Vieira being sent off. And then we lost 4-3 against another one of my former clubs, Junior. We were 3-0 down after half an hour. We got it back to 3-3 and then conceded a 92nd minute winner. So the group stage isn't going particularly well at the Copa Sudamericana, but we are playing pretty much a fully rotated team for those games. The board wants to make the knockout stages, but really the important thing is the league. And as you can see, from being, I think it was 7 points down at the beginning of the episode, we are now within 1 point of Nacional. They've lost 3 games. We've only lost 2, but we've drawn 2 as well. And hopefully we can just keep this good run of form going. I think we've got a few teams left to play that are in the bottom half of the league. So hopefully we can pick up victories and really just keep the pressure on Nacional in this opening stage of the league. So this is the side we've picked. We've had to go with Gaston and Non in the central midfield with the injury to Enriquez, and because Pablo de los Santos, who will be a key player for us in that midfield, is still coming back from injury, isn't fit enough to start. Just looking at this Cerrito team, there's a lot of players that we brought into the club involved. And it's not too dissimilar a side to the one we saw all of last season. So we're going with the formation we've gone with. They're going with the 4-2-3-1. And hopefully we just have a bit too much quality for them. I mean, we've had a lot of the ball, but very little's happening. Mendes with a throw. Gonzalez back to Fusco. Mendes again. Fusco. Just across to Benitez. And we're back to the keeper. And then Mendes looks forward to Acosta, out to Vieira. And it goes back to Mendes. There's just tighter space on this left-hand side for Benitez and for Sousa. Looks to find Vieira on the right, heads it into the box. Gonzalez hits the post. And they manage to get it clear. And now they are bombing forward. And luckily we've cut that pass out. Espinosa flicks it on. And now we're getting numbers forward. Sousa to De Silva. Finds the bottom corner. I think he made the run a bit too soon, but he might have managed to get himself back on side. And it's been given end-to-end stuff here. I mean, we hit the post, they counter-attack, and then we counter-attack on them. Sousa cuts inside, finds De Silva, who takes a touch, and then just powers it past the keeper from the edge of the box for 1-0. Well-timed run in the end. Right, Espinosa with a corner into the near post. It's flicked on by De Silva and onto the roof of the net. And it's Sousa with a free kick in towards the box. De Silva gets his head on it. And again, it lands on the roof of the net. And free kick for them. Osvaldo with it. I mean, it's a good job that was over the top because Scoto did not move at all for that. A free kick for us. Sousa short. And De Silva has somehow missed the target from 7 yards out. Espinosa with a throw. Sousa back to him. They've cleared it, and now we could be in a bit of bother here. Although Benitez steps out to win it. Acosta now going forward. And it goes back to Fusco. Acosta then loses out, and now we are in trouble. And we've made a tackle there, but Osvaldo finds Mendoza in the box. And thankfully, he drags it wide of the target. And Benitez to Mendes. Into Acosta. Over the top, looking for the run of Espinosa, who squares it. And De Silva heads over from 3 yards out. Sousa with a free kick. It's headed down. Mendes fires it into the back of the net. We're going to get a VAR check, but my gut feeling is he's onside. So Sousa clips it into the box. It's Fusco that gets his head on it, and then Mendes is free in the centre of the goal, just to fire it past the keeper. No one tracked him at all. And he just beats the keeper on the volley. And there we are, half-time 2-0. We've dominated that first half. There's a couple of concerning moments when they've looked to attack us on the counter-attack. And they have changed up their formation as well, in that they've brought on an extra centre-half. and taking off Advaldo. Now, I don't know whether that was an injury or just a tactical one, but he was their best player by a mile. But the one concern, unlike recent games, we're still having lots of shots, but we're not hitting the target with them. I mean, there's plenty of chances that De Silva missed the target within that first half completely, but we are 2-0 up, and let's kick on and win comfortably in the second half. Right, we made 2 changes at half time. Espinosa has picked up a knock, so Vieira's moved to the left, Wagner's come on the right, and De Los Santos has come on in the midfield for Sousa just to get him some game time. But now they're on the attack. Mendoza looking to go on the outside, and Scoto turns it behind for a corner. And they've certainly started the second half the better. Mendoza with the corner. We've got a head on it. And we've managed to intercept that one. It's going to come back again, though. They've gone long. Mendes gets his head on it and it's out for a throw-in. Right, free kick just outside the box. De Los Santos standing over it. Lifts it through the wall, I think. It hit Gabriel Vieira. I don't think he actually did an awful lot with that one. And it's in the back of the net for 3-0. Yeah, it hit him in front of the wall, goes flying through the wall, and basically straight through the goalkeeper. We've hit the bar again. The corner, flicked header at the near post, off the bar. And we're now looking to get the ball back towards the box, but nothing comes of it. Right, Wagner with a throw. Anon back to him. Acosta to Wagner. Back to Mendes. He loses out. And now they're getting numbers forward in support of Ponti. Caballero. And Beltran drags it wide of the far post. And Scoto goes long with the goal kick. And now Ponti down the left for them. Infield. It goes all the way to Beltran. And now it comes all the way back to Ponti. And he's found the back of the net. And we have very much switched off. I mean, they're not playing well, but I mean, that's 2 balls that have just gone right across the pitch that we could have cut out. And it's 3-1. And there we are, full time 3-1. Pretty comfortable victory, but not as good a performance as we've seen recently. It does take us to the top of the table, having played a game more than Nacional, and keeps the pressure up on them. So, we have made it to the end of the opening phase of the league season, and somehow, despite our very, very best efforts to throw it away, we managed to finish top. We had 2 games in the league after the Cerrito game, the first of which we were dreadful against Deportivo Maldonado, who were right in the bottom half of the table. We lost 3-1. We had a goal disallowed for a close offside. We missed a penalty. And we were just pretty much dreadful, at which point we thought that our chances had gone. At that point, Nacional were a point ahead of us going into the last day of the season. We ended up winning 4-1 on the last day of the season. We got off to a great early start with a goal from Benitez, and we were 3-0 up after 50 minutes before they managed to pull one back. But what actually secured us the top spot was Penarol beating Nacional 3-1 on the last day of the season. And as you can see, we finished top in the opening stage, which qualifies us for the Champions playoff at the end of the season. So that's the first big step on the way to winning the league title in Uruguay. And there we are, as we approach the halfway point of the season. What can only be described as a spectacular opening phase of the league. We've managed to finish top. We've qualified for the Champions playoff. And as we said, it's a long way towards us winning that league title this season. Coming up in the next episode, we've got the Torneo Intermedio and probably the start of the Copa Uruguay. So join us next time to see how we get on in those. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you then.